Have you ever been mesmerized by the perfect egg, with fluffy, cloud-like whites that are soft and smooth, gently wrapping around a rich, creamy yolk that melts in your mouth? But when you actually try to make it, the results don't turn out as expected. The yolk breaks or the whites easily burn black, making the dish lose all its appeal. If you've ever been disappointed by those eggs not quite right moments, then this video is just for you. I'm going to share 5 simple yet incredibly effective egg cooking tips that will help you conquer these seemingly difficult dishes right in your own kitchen. Even if you're a beginner, just follow along and success will be in your hands. Let's get started. The first method, you'll need 1 fresh chicken egg. Then gently separate the egg white from the yolk. Be careful not to break the yolk because we'll need it later. After that, you can add a little salt to the egg white to enhance the flavor. If you want it richer, try mixing in a bit of shredded cheese. It'll taste great. Next, use a whisk or a pair of chopsticks to beat the egg white until it becomes fluffy. If you want to speed things up, you can use an electric hand mixer. Whip it until the egg white is thick, smooth, and forms stiff peaks when you lift the whisk. That's when it's ready. Once the egg white is whipped, place a pan on the stove and turn the heat to low. Add a little cooking oil or unsalted butter to prevent sticking and give it a pleasant aroma. When the pan is lightly heated, scoop in the whipped egg white and shape it into a small round cloud. Then use a spoon to gently make a small dip in the center and pour the egg yolk into that dip. Cover the pan with a lid and keep the heat very low. Let the egg cook for about 2 minutes, just until the egg white and yolk have lightly set. If you like the yolk runny, just cook it for 1 minute. If you prefer it more well done, you can let it cook a bit longer. Now let's take a look at the result. A fluffy cloud egg with soft, airy whites and a rich, creamy yolk. It's sure to make you smile at first sight. The second method, prepare 2 small bowls, each filled about 1/3 full with clean water, just enough for the egg to float in the bowl. Then crack 1 egg into each bowl. Adding water to the bowl helps the whites and yolks stay evenly distributed and prevents the eggs from touching the hot bottom of the bowl during steaming. This reduces sticking, deformation, or uneven cooking. This method is very effective if you want poached eggs that are plump, unbroken, and keep a beautiful shape. Once you're ready, prepare a steamer pot and fill it with water. Then bring the water to a boil. When the water is boiling, carefully place the small bowls with the eggs into the pot. Now cover with a lid and keep the heat at medium to ensure even steaming. The ideal steaming time is between 6 to 7 minutes, depending on how you want your eggs. If you like soft yolks, steam for about 6 minutes. When the time is up, turn off the heat, but don't open the lid right away. Let the eggs steam for another 30 seconds in the remaining heat to avoid a sudden temperature change that might cause the eggs to break or shrink. Then open the lid, gently take out the bowls, pour out the water, and use a spoon to scoop the poached eggs onto a plate. And there you have it, a batch of soft poached eggs perfectly shaped, with whites wrapping the yolks, smooth surfaces, and not a single crack. Try this method now to feel the difference. Next is method number 3. First, place a pot of water on the stove and add just enough water to fully cover the egg. When the water is still cold, add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar and stir well. The vinegar helps the egg whites set faster when they come into contact with the hot water, preventing the egg from spreading out and keeping a nice shape. Next, crack the egg into a small bowl, carefully keeping the yolk intact in the center. This helps make the final result look more attractive. When the water starts to simmer gently, not boiling vigorously, use chopsticks to stir the water in one direction, creating a gentle whirlpool in the center of the pot. Then, slowly pour the egg into the center of the whirlpool, handling it gently to avoid breaking the yolk or separating the whites. If the whirlpool stops after adding the egg, you can gently stir around the outside of the egg with the chopsticks to help the whites wrap fully around the yolk, making the egg rounder and more even. Eggs are a familiar, easy-to-cook ingredient, rich in nutrition. They provide high-quality protein, vitamin B12, brain-boosting choline, and lutein, which protects the eyes and supports overall health. Poach the egg for about 30 seconds to 1 minute to set its shape. For soft yolks, poach for about 1 to 2 minutes. For fully cooked eggs, poach for about 3 minutes to get a delicious finished dish. When the egg reaches your desired doneness, gently remove it onto a plate. A perfectly cooked egg will have soft, smooth whites wrapping a still slightly runny yolk. When cut open, the yolk flows out temptingly with a rich, sweet, and fragrant flavor, reaching the ideal level of deliciousness. Let's move on to method number 4. Now prepare a large bowl and crack 2 eggs into it. Add a little salt to taste, depending on your family's preference. Then use chopsticks or a whisk to beat the eggs evenly until the mixture is completely smooth, with no white streaks left. Next, place a non-stick pan on the stove and heat it over medium heat. When the pan is hot, pour in a thin layer of cooking oil and spread it evenly across the pan's surface. Wait until the oil is really hot, then pour the egg mixture into the center of the pan. When the edges of the eggs begin to set, use 2 chopsticks to pinch the center of the eggs, holding a fixed point. With your other hand, gently rotate the pan in one direction. The eggs will naturally twist into a beautiful spiral shape. When the bottom is lightly golden, turn off the heat and carefully lift the eggs out of the pan. The finished dish is a spiral egg with a golden outer layer and a soft, smooth, lightly creamy inside. Try making this now to experience the delicious flavor. The final method. If you're a busy person and don't have much time to steam eggs in a pot, like in the previous tip, try this quick and simple method. Just prepare a small bowl of water, similar to tip number 2, then crack an egg into the bowl. Now, place the bowl into the microwave. Set the power to around 700 to 800 watts and adjust the time depending on how cooked you want the egg. About 1 minute for a soft egg with a runny yolk, 2 minutes for a medium egg that's smooth and tender, or 3 minutes if you prefer it fully cooked. You shouldn't go over 5 minutes as the egg can easily dry out. The white becomes tough and loses its natural softness. When the time is up, use a towel or heat-resistant gloves to take the bowl out, then pour out the water. And just like that, you have a perfectly round, piping, hot steamed egg with a doneness that's easy to control, just as good as using the traditional steaming method. So, I've just shared with you 5 simple yet highly effective ways to cook eggs that you can easily try at home. If you give them a try, don't hesitate to share your thoughts or results in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and who knows, maybe we'll discover even more great tips together. If you found this video helpful, you can support me by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so you won't miss out on more exciting cooking tips coming up. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos.